Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, FG, and today we begin our look at the Fancy Pants Adventures. This is a series that originally began as a set of Flash games, eventually made its way to the home console market, and is best associated with the golden age of Flash games. A period in the mid-2000s where plenty of games were being pushed and a lot of people were playing online. Flash games, as you call them, are essentially games on the internet that ran off Adobe. And anyone could really play these games, and they were most common when you were bored in class and you just wanted to do something besides listen to the teacher. But Fancy Pants was a standout character at the time, amongst many others. And although his time in the spotlight would come much later compared to others such as Alien Hominid, Castle Crashers, and Super Meat Boy, it is no less one of the best online Flash games, even today as a matter of fact. Before we get to the newer games, though, we need to start at the beginning. So here we are with the original Fancy Pants adventure, World 1, created in 2006 by Brad Bourne. So without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. Now, it's worth noting that this game, while the build right now is good, it feels great, there are some versions of the game that don't work because newer systems tend to accelerate Flash games. And it's for that reason I'm playing on Crazy Games, as opposed to, say, another site that has a newer build of the game. I know Brad Bourne actually has one on the site, but because of the problems I mentioned, it's too delayed to play. But anyways, we're going to go straight into the game. So Fancy Pants is heavily inspired by platformers of the 90s. Most iconically, Mario and Sonic. So there's a big emphasis on stomping enemies and running very fast. And I would dare say that Fancy Pants is much faster than Sonic the Hedgehog ever was. But this is, of course, only the first game, and he would only get faster later on. But anyways, with this game, the idea is to get from left to right, and there are plenty of collectibles to find along the way. I'll explain what that was I just picked up later, but let's just continue and try not to get killed. So, in the original game, there really is just two ways you could kill enemies. The first, of course, is stomping on them, and the other way is to curl into a ball and roll into them. But first things first, we're going to go into this bonus room. Now, the main currency, whereas other games you have coins, you have rings, in this game, the currency is known as scribbles. And as you can see, even from the gameplay itself, there's a big emphasis on a lot of the assets being hand-drawn. From Fancy Pants Man being essentially a stick figure, to the environment looking like it was drawn with a pencil and pen. This game is very much aesthetically pleasing for the time it came out. Very much. But anyways, we're going to take a detour and hop into this cardboard box that's just conveniently sitting there right now. And if there's one way I want to describe Fancy Pants Adventures, I would say it's meta commentary. So, let's grab this item over here. The creator. Well, what do we have here? I see you found the wall jump power-up I was saving for later. I guess there's no harm in letting you preview the feature now, is there? Just don't expect the levels to take much advantage of it too much until the next game. Oh yeah, I guess I should tell you how to use it. Run and jump into a wall, keep that arrow held down. When you hit the wall, press jump again to spring off the wall. And one more thing, you have to earn the power-up. So, run! So, we're essentially getting an early glimpse at ability that was actually made for the sequel. This is the wall jump. And there's really only two areas we're going to see this be used. Here in this little section of platforming, as well as the final boss of the game. The only boss, as a matter of fact. So we're going to use this wall jump to our convenience as we continue. And let's just get on out of here. Very simple, very straightforward. And of course the box floods, so we're not going to be able to go back into it, so let's just continue forward. And we're going to stomp on one of my favorite enemies in the game. I call it Mouser with a gun, and he shoots scribble bullets. But anyways, that's the first stage. Now we're in a mid-section at least between stage 1 and 2. Very straightforward. All we gotta do is time our jumps just right. And let's get out of here. Alright. So now we're in stage 2. So, being the first game in the series, I'll be honest, there's really not much variety in the level design. Albeit for the last stage, level 3, it looks like this entire game is essentially this icy tundra, I suppose is the best way to call it. But first things first, we have this bonus stage where we have to time the jumps just right to these spring mechanisms. If you fall out of the stage itself, you will lose a life automatically. Something that would actually be fixed in later entries of the series, where you'd actually only take damage instead of losing a full-on life. But let's just keep going and make it to the top. So anyways, these collectibles are actually callbacks to different games and animations that came out at the time. Cameos, if you'd call them. So in some ways, they're kind of like those trophies you get in Smash Brothers. And Bradborn did love some of these indie things that would come out at the time. And we're going to take a look at it when we finish the game and try to grab as many as I can. But first things first. Oh! That's no good. Alright, try it again. So we need just enough speed to get over there and time it just right. There we go. That did it. Alright, so here we have a section where we have to jump on these spiders up. Now, one of my favorite things to do in this game is the back jump. Because you could just jump normal, but if you go backwards, you're essentially doing backflips the whole time. Oh, this is great. This game seriously has a lot of style to the fancy name. There we go. And we got the trophy. Collectible? Trophy? Call it what you want. But anyways, let's continue forward. So as I mentioned, this is the second level of the game, and there's only 3 levels in this game. So this is essentially the shortest in the series. Later games would get longer and have a lot more level design to them. But I don't blame Brad, because this is essentially his first outing, really his first Splash game. Alright, so let's head up here, and we're going to take the lower route to get a collectible. And there we go. And let's continue forward. Alright, keep going. And if I recall, there should be at least one more collectible. So I do want to take a look down here. Nothing over there. Oh, okay. Heavy speed. Alright. So there's nothing up there, so let's just keep going forward. Alright. So even the music of this game, I would say, is pretty iconic, because I can remember some of this stuff even today. However, and this is 2018, so I guess I should mention it, this game actually did get a remix. 2 as a matter of fact. One in World 3 for consoles, and the other being its full-fledged remix game. And you can play it even today. It actually uses the engine of the 4th World game, and includes a preview of one of the stages, as a matter of fact. But anyways, that was the mid-section between 2 and 3, so here we are in the final level of the game. And this one's actually drastically different compared to the others. This one's actually got grass and trees. But yeah. Okay, so let's continue forward. So we have a little section here. We're going to fall on down and enter this door that's pretty hidden. And this should lead us to the last collectible, I believe. We only have 3 uses. Okay, no, this is just a room. We only have 3 bounces on that spring. Up. Okay. We have 2 bounces on this. Okay. We have 1. Okay, okay. Get it. Oh, nope. Come on, we can get it. There we go. Oh no, that was the last collectible. Okay. That wasn't a spring. That was a challenge. But anyway, that's all the collectibles the game has to offer. There's only 5 in this one. So let's continue. So all we really need to focus on now is getting to the end of the game. Now it's worth mentioning that the game there's really only 3 enemies. There's the spiders, there's the mouser, and then there's these dragon things. Yeah, definitely not out of place. Definitely belongs with the game. But if you think those are out of place, just wait for this boss fight coming up. I think it's probably the strangest part of the game. But let's continue. Alright. Beware, Angry Penguin. The first boss in the series is an Angry Penguin. And he's just minding his business. He's just taking a little nap, and here comes Fancy Pants Man. But no, he's gotta have the devil horn with his fingers. It's crazy. It is crazy. But anyways, straightforward boss. All you gotta do is let him slam into the wall and give him a good bonk. It takes 3 hits, as many platformers do. And let's get one more bounce out of him. And that's the Angry Penguin. And that's also the end of World 1. To be continued, of course. So yeah, that's the Fancy Pants Adventures World 1. The shortest in the series for what it is. But it still holds up even today. So, of course, we got all 5 collectibles, so we're going to take a look at them. So, the first one, what you see here is the latest design of Sketch Michael's creation, Standy. That's right, kids, the highly anticipated Standy Adventure Mode isn't dead. It's just, sleeping. Alright, next one. The Kid. A product of the second collaboration between me and Sketch, Snowblitz saw a rocky beginning, but was re-released last Christmas with a newly designed menu system, and most importantly, no bugs. Next one is Rocky Pinnacle. Long ago, before I had made any Flash to call my own, I stumbled upon the first Kermit combat on Newgrounds. Back then, I was blown away by the excellent characterizations and solid voice acting, both the rarities even in today's internet cartoons, making it a classic. If only you knew what happened to the animations of today and the YouTube algorithm. Anyways, Eric the Juice Man. My first taste of the Juice Man series was episode 5 of the Mike Saga. I can't say I really knew what was going on, but it was hilarious. I strongly recommend that every age-appropriate fan of comedy check out John Perraz's creations. And the last one, The Knight in Training. What's that you say? Don't recognize this angry little guy? Consider this trophy a sneak peek of Sketch's latest creation. Don't worry, you should be seeing more of him soon. Swords, bombs, and bugs. Hype, hype, hype. And that's all the collectibles that the game has to offer. One more thing worth showing off is that this was one of the first games, well, the first game of course, that if you go into the options, you can actually change Fancy Pants' colors. There's only a couple to choose in this game, but there'd be much more variety in the later games. And if you choose to, you can even reset the data. Something I have to do several times in this video because I've had several takes I wasn't happy with. But that's going to do it for today's video. So if you guys like this and want to get ready for World 2, be sure to leave a like or even comment below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Get ready for Fancy Pants Adventures World 2. Personally, my favorite game in the series because it's the game that introduced me to the series. So I'm looking forward to it.